It is day 4 of a partial government shutdown. Lawmakers have so far been unable to reach an agreement on funding the Homeland Security Department. Democrats are demanding changes to immigration enforcement policies. President Trump was asked about their proposals last night.
Well, I don't like some of the things they're asking for. We're going to protect law enforcement. We're going to protect ICE. You know, they're part of the whole system that is working.
CBS News congressional correspondent Nikole Killion joins us. Where do negotiations stand?
Well, Lindsay, they're kind of at a standstill right now, or a holding pattern. You know, there's been a lot of back and forth between congressional Democrats and the White House in terms of negotiations, with just last night Democrats putting forth a new offer to the White House. But late this afternoon, we heard from a White House official on that, basically saying that, you know, the parties are still far apart, although the administration remains committed to good faith negotiations. Democratic leaders, spokespersons for Democratic leaders Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer also put out a brief statement that was given to CBS News, in which they tell us that, you know, Democrats have been clear for weeks about the reforms needed to rein in ICE and stop the violence. We've continued working through language and additional issues to make progress, but Republicans have largely ignored the core guardrails that Americans are demanding. So obviously no agreement as of yet. And then on top of that, of course, we have heard from the Department of Homeland Security just today, really kind of outlining the impact that this shutdown, now in its 4th day, is having on the agency, saying that shutting down the DHS means cutting off resources and funding to FEMA, TSA, the Coast Guard, and thousands of federal law enforcement officers. And then they go agency by agency in terms of listing the potential impact. For instance, with the Coast Guard, they say the longer this shutdown goes on, it could affect military housing for Coast Guard families. Of course, with the TSA, the agency warns that potentially we could see longer wait times at airports in light of this shutdown. And even with FEMA, while they do have funding for disaster relief, they also caution that those funds could run dry the longer that this shutdown continues. So some pretty measurable impacts the longer this goes on. But as I mentioned, so far, no breakthrough in these negotiations, Lindsay.
Nikole Killion, thank you.